How are you digesting not just your meals, but your experiences, your thoughts, and your emotion? And that to me is the most beautiful part. In this crazy busy world that we are, we don't even ask that anymore. Hey everyone, welcome back to A Talk with G, the podcast where we explore ancient wisdom, modern wellness, and everything in between. I'm your host, Gia, and today we're diving into a hotly debated topic in the world of health and nutrition. Now, if you've ever stood in the middle of the grocery store wondering why one diet swears by high protein everything and another tells you to avoid meat like it's the plague, you're not alone. In our modern world, wellness advice is everywhere, and it often feels like you need a PhD just to figure out what to eat for breakfast. That's why today we're slowing things down and exploring a nutrition philosophy that stirred up a lot of buzz over the years, the blood type diet. Some call it revolutionary, rooted in evolution biology. Others dismiss it as a psychoscience that with a catchy marketing spin. So, which is it? Well, this episode isn't about prescribing what's quote unquote right or wrong for you. It's about bringing curiosity, clarity, and a little critical thinking to the table. Because at the end of the day, the most powerful thing we can do is learn to listen to our body. So grab a tea, settle in, and let's explore whether blood type diet is a path to deeper health or just another wellness fad. Okay, so let's take it from the top. What is the blood type diet? And why do some people swear by it while others raise an eyebrow? The blood type diet was popularized by Dr. Peter Diamando in his 1996 book, Eat Right for Your Type. It quickly gained traction in the wellness world, and for good reason. The premises is fascinating. Your blood type isn't just a key factor in things like transfusions or medical compatibility. It's a powerful lens into how your body digests food, responds to stress, fights off illnesses, and even stores fat. Diamando proposed that each blood type, O, A, B, and AB, reflect a distinct evolutionary heritage. According to him, the foods you eat should be aligned with how your blood type evolved over thousands of years. It's almost like a personalized nutrition roadmap rooted in ancestries. Sounds kind of magical, right? Well, let's walk through what he suggests for each type. Type O is considered the original blood type, the one believed to have emerged when our ancestors were primarily hunters. Picture early humans chasing, gaming, fishing, foraging. According to Diamando, if you're a type O, your body thrives on an animal protein, lots of greens, and minimal grains, beans, or dairy. It's high protein, low carb, kind of like the prehistoric Palo approach. Now, our type A's, in contrast, is thought to have developed during the rise of agriculture, when humans shifted from hunting to farming. This is the type known as the cultivator. Diamando claims that A types do best on a vegetarian or mostly plant based diet, focusing on fresh vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and tofu. For A types, meat is said to be harder to digest and a potential source of inflammation. Now, our B types. They're considered the nomads, arising in ancient cultures that migrated and adapted to various climates and food sources. Supposedly, B types are more versatile when it comes to digestion. They're encouraged to enjoy a wide range of foods, including meat, dairy, vegetables, and grains. According to the theory, this group has the most balanced and flexible options, though they are still avoid quote unquote foods like some meats, which Diamando claims to may have disrupted metabolism in B types. And then there is AB, the rarest and the most modern blood type. Diamando claims this one is the enigma because it combines the traits of A and B. AB types are encouraged to eat moderately, choosing a balanced mix of A type vegetables and B type proteins while avoiding caffeine, alcohol, and processed foods. For this group, moderation is the name of the game. Now, to be clear, this isn't just about what's on your plate. Diamando also links the blood types to stress response, exercise preferences, and even personality traits. For example, he suggests that O's tend to be more prone to intense stress reactions and do well in vigorous exercises like running or HIIT. Type A's, on the other hand, might feel best when calming practices like yoga or Tai Chi. It's a whole body, whole lifestyle philosophy. And here's the thing, there's something undeniably alluring about this idea. Who doesn't want a simple ancient answer to the internal question, what should I eat? It gives people a sense of control, like, now I know why certain foods work for me and others don't. But before we take it at face value, we've got to ask some deeper questions. Where did this theory really come from? Does it line up with modern nutritional science? And more importantly, does it actually work? Let's take a deeper look. Now, let's keep it real for a moment, because while critics have their points, and we'll get to that, there are thousands of people who absolutely swear by this diet. I've personally spoken to a few people who have made the switch, and I've actually had a few clients who've made the switch. Things just start to click. One person had told me that their chronic bloating disappeared after cutting wheat and dairy foods that their blood type specifically advised against for her type. Another shared that she finally was energized or felt energized after years of fatigue simply by leaning into more plant based meals aligning with her blood type. Skin clearing up, improved sleep, fewer digestive issues. These aren't rare stories in this community. What draws people in and what keeps them coming back is how personalized it feels. In a world overflowing with the one size fits all diets, where everyone's supposed to be keto 1 minute, plant based the next, this approach offers something different. It says, hey, your body's unique. Let's feed it like it is. And you know what? That message can be incredibly empowering. Just like our doshas, we are unique. And with our blood type, whether it's the blood type framework itself or the simple mindset shift that comes from tuning into your body's needs, many people say they feel more in tune once they start eating this way. It gives them structure, a starting point, and a reason to let go of foods that haven't been serving them without the guilt or guesswork. But here's what's really interesting. This isn't just a Western wellness trend. I did my research before I even brought this to clients. In places like Japan and South Korea, blood type beliefs have long been woven into the cultural fabric, not just for health, but for personality, behavior, and even relationship compatibility. In Japan, for example, it's not uncommon for someone to ask your blood type on a date, which I think that would be pretty cool if you did. It's kind of like asking someone for their zodiac sign. There's a belief that blood type influences everything from emotional temperament to decision making style. So while the idea of eating of your blood type might sound a little woo woo to some, it's actually grounded in global traditions that view blood type as more than just a medical label. In that way, the diet taps into something deeper, a sense of identity, ancestral connection, and energetic alignment. Now, of course, personal stories are powerful, but antidotes aren't the same as evidence. Let's take a deeper look into this. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know I have nothing against Western approach. I love the science behind it. And of course, I use it for medical emergencies. But in this case, let's pause for a science check. What does actual research say about blood type diet? To be honest, there's not much, and certainly not enough to call a scientifically valid approach. To this date, there's no strong peer reviewed evidence that directly supports the idea that your blood type determines your optimal diet. One of the most widely cited analysts came out in 2013, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. It reviewed over 1,400 studies that concluded pretty clearly that no scientific data backs up the claims made by the blood type diet. Since then, other studies have echoed that finding there is just no measurable link between blood type and the specific dietary outcome of this model. So, what gives? If there is no strong scientific evidence, why do so many people report feeling better on the diet? And here's where it gets interesting and very human, actually. When people start following the blood type diet, they often end up cutting out ultra processed food, excess sugar, inflammatory triggers, things that any nutritionist would say causes problems regardless of the blood type. They're also eating more whole foods, drinking more water, and becoming more mindful about their habits. And that shift in attention and intention can go a long way. But some believe there's a psychological layer to this, what we call the placebo effect. But I like to think of it more as a power of belief. When we trust that a new way of eating is aligned with who we are, we often become more attuned to how food makes us feel. We slow down, we listen, we make empowered choices, and that in itself can be healing. So, The whole point of me ranting on this is because when it becomes less about hard science and more about embodying wisdom, what makes you feel more balanced, energized, and clear? That's a different kind of data, one you can only access by tuning in. Now, here is where I love to bring it all home by weaving in the wisdom of Ayurveda. Long before trendy diets or even the discovery of blood types, Ayurveda, this holistic healing that I swear by and I will always swear by, was already speaking about individualized wellness through the lens of our doshas, which I've mentioned already. Instead of sorting us into blood type categories like O, A, B, and AB, Ayurveda understands through the energetic force of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. These aren't just physical types, they're expressions of the five elements. I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. Our five elements earth, water, fire, air, and ether. They govern how we think, digest, move, and sleep and feel. It's truly a full spectrum approach. And yes, there are definitely some interesting overlaps between the blood type diet and Ayurvedic wisdom. For instance, many O type individuals who thrive on a high protein diet often represent with a strong pitta. These types typically have robust digestive fire or agni and do well with grounding protein rich meals that support their metabolism. It doesn't just stop here with Ayurveda. It doesn't just look at what we should eat, it looks at why. It considers your mental and emotional state, your current season of life, your environment, your digestion, even your spiritual evolution. So while the blood type diet might point you towards certain food, Ayurveda takes you one step further and asks how are you digesting not just your meals, but your experiences, your thoughts, and your emotion. And that to me is the most beautiful part. In this crazy busy world that we are, we don't even ask that anymore. Blood types might give us a doorway into this personalized nutrition and into Ayurveda. It opens a whole new house. It invites those of us who are afraid to look at our approach as a holistic health. This gives you a chance to link it to your blood, something that runs through your veins. It invites you to go deeper with self inquiry, body attunement, and harmony with nature's cycles. So, if you're drawn to the body type approaching like the blood type diet, consider also exploring your doshas. It might offer the nuisance and flexibility you didn't even know you needed. So, my big question for you guys today to think about is the blood type diet a fad or is it a fact? Here's my honest take. You don't need to fully dismiss something just because it's debated. And you definitely don't need to accept something because it's the trend. Instead, try this approach. Get curious. For those of you listening who are not fully on board with the Ayurvedic way of life, this blood type diet can be your link to making you feel more attuned to your doshas. Why? Because the blood type is actually what's running through you. We all get blood work. We all are told this is missing, this is low, this is high. Now you have another way to look at holistic health. Use the blood type diet as a doorway, a gentle entry point into a deeper relationship with your body. Not a rigid rulebook, not a health gospel, just a place to begin. Ask yourself, how do I feel after this meal? What shifts when I swap meat for lentils or dairy for alternatives? Does my energy rise when I eat lighter in the summer or more grounding foods in the winter? These questions aren't about following a plan. They're about learning your own rhythms because your body is always talking. It speaks through your cravings, your digestion, your energy levels, and even your mood swings. You don't need a lab to tell you what's working. You just need to listen. And remember, Ayurveda teaches us that food isn't just fuel, it's information. It tells your cells, your mind, and your spirit how to show up. The blood type diet might be the door opener to help you notice the patterns. Ayurveda might help you connect the dots, but ultimately, you are the one living in your body. You are your own best healer. So take what serves you and leave what doesn't. Try things on and let your body, not the trend cycle, guide you. And that's a wrap, beautiful souls, into our intro of blood type diet. Yes, I said intro because stay tuned. There's more coming on this. I hope today sparks some curiosity, some reflection, and maybe a fresh look on how you relate to food. Next week, I'll be diving into the type O, our hunters. We're going to talk about everything from their primal instincts, bold energy, and digestive fire, but also some surprising, sensitive, and emotional patterns we might not accept. Whether you're a type O or you love someone who is, trust me, you're going to want to tune in. And if today's episode spoke to you, I'd love to hear it from you. Tag me, leave a review, message me on IG. Does this diet trend feel helpful, a hype, or something in between? And always, if you need more one on one guidance, don't forget to check out my website at www.atalkwithg. Book a one on one session. Let's start working on what feels right for you. So until next time, stay grounded and always trust your own inner healer.